Hi, welcome to this.
Get out of my chair, mine.
No photography.
No.
Do photography.
Cut.
Lightroom.
Get out.
So in this basic tutorial, we're going to add music to your timeline. So from the previous videos, you should have imported all your footage in with folders. Go to your music folder and you can double click and this will open up in the preview window. So within here, you can see all the peaks and troughs of the audio and how it plays. To play it back, just hit the play button. And you do the same as you've done before and find the part where you want it to start. So I'm going to start it fairly quick. So I want it to start on this bump. Hit the in point and the out point. On here you cannot drag from here in, it will just move the playhead around. To drag in audio, click on the drag audio and drag it to the timeline. Now the timeline is split into two sections. You have video, V1, V2, V3, you can have up to 99, or you have A1, A2, A3, A4, this is audio. You'll also notice, depending on how you've set it up, that you have 5.1 sound, or you have here, which is normal stereo. When you drag this audio in, it will not let you put it into a 5.1 if it is not a 5.1 audio, and it will make sure that it goes into the stereo section. Your other option of dragging in an audio like it is with clips is click, hold, and drag it all in, and then you can just drag it to the line. When you drag in your audio, depending on what you're going to use it for, you may find that it's too loud. So there is a couple of ways that you can lower the volume using 3 or 4 different methods within Premiere. First method I'm going to show you is just affecting the clip directly in Effects Control. For Effects Control to work, you need to double click on the clip that you want to change. So we'll double click on the audio, and in the top left you should have Effects Control. If it's not there, go into Window and find Effects Control within here, and you click Effects Control. When you open Effects Control, you will see that you've got options within here to higher and lower the level of the audio. Depending on how you like to work, some people like to use the sliders, some people like to just use the numbers. It totally depends on how you want to work. To lower it, you can click once in the space, and I'm going to make it minus 10 decibels. And as you can see, it's now at minus 10. It's minus 10 on the slider. What you can't fully see here, which I'll just move out, is it adds what's called a keyframe. So at that point, it is minus 10. And because I haven't changed anything later on, it will stay at minus 10. If for some reason you'd like the audio to fade out, you can do a couple of things. So you can use your playhead, move it along to where you want where the sound to go. Double click again, Effects Control. Again, if you want to zoom in, if you remember, you can zoom in using the little points at the end. I'm going to hit this button here, which adds a keyframe, and I am going to make this minus all the way down to 0. So now, at that point is 0, and at that point is minus 10, and in between it will slowly go down. So you will get this. So it will slowly go down. Your other option on how to edit audio is make your audio line bigger. By clicking at the bottom here, you'll see this symbol pop up, and you can make this bigger or smaller. It's not very obvious, but there is a line, which is the audio line here. If you click and hold on the audio line and drag down, you will see it add minus 30, or you can go above to 15. So you can manually, this is not very accurate. It's quite haphazard and good for just quickly editing it, but you can do it that way. Another option you've got is you've got different tabs at the top which do different things. So colour is for colour, effects for effects, and then you've got an audio tab. Within your audio tab you have each slider which is available for you to manipulate. So each slider represents each timeline. So A1 is the first one, A2 is the second one. Now we've manually lowered this within the effects panel. However, you can also completely lower the entire track, which means anything on this track will be lowered. So if I lower this down to minus 10.4, it will play back lower than it did before. So if I hit play, you can see that it's playing back lower. If I raise this up to plus 15, you'll be able to hear it, but you'll also be able to see the peaking for the audio, and it's much higher than it was. What you don't really want with audio, whenever you're editing audio, is for it to peak at the top. So when it peaks at the top, it can distort, it can be just too loud. There are different reasons for why you don't want it to peak. It's best to try and get the audio right when you're recording. However, sometimes you may be just a little bit too high. You will always have to do a bit of audio manipulation, but try not to have it peak there. As a rule, start at 0, see where it peaks, try and have it peak between sort of minus 6, minus 7 and minus sort of 15. Depending on what you're editing for, you'll have to change the way and the levels, but really you want a sort of solid level throughout your entire piece so everything matches up and everything works. Much for the same that we did with transitions for video, you can also do transitions for audio. Much like you do with video, to find your audio transitions, go to Effects, and then find Audio Transitions. You only have one option, which is Crossfade, and then you can choose which version of this you want to use. So when you bring this in, you will do the same as you did with the video. Wait till it's highlighted. You can extend this if you want to, or shrink it, and then if you click play, it should start with no sound and slowly raise up. So that's the basics of adding in audio and getting your levels correct for filmmaking. In the next video, I'm going to cover something a bit more complicated. We're going to go into color correction.